Fights, Mics, and Media. I'm Goldie Boy. Yesterday, my man Big Kev Newton hit me and was like, "Yo, K, I got a dope idea for you for the show." And I'm like, "Yo, talk to me." He was like, "Yo, you know how niggas been comparing Nas to Rakim for like 30 years? And always, kind of asking like, yo, who's the better out of the two? Like, the hood been talking about that shit everywhere for like forever. For 30 fucking years since Nas dropped in 94 with the Illmatic album. And why? It's because Nas is the only person after Eric B. and Rakim to drop an album that revolutionized the whole fucking game, bro. And it had its own style, and it just was ill. You could play the shit just like Paid in Full from song one to the last song. You don't never have to fast forward or rewind the motherfucker. You could just let that shit play. And it's one of the illest albums to ever fucking be dropped in hip hop, just like Paid in Full. So because of that, they looked at Nas as the second coming of Rakim. That was something that was totally unwarranted to Nas, because to me, he never sounded like Ra to me. He never remotely close sounded like Ra to me. Now, if you want to talk content, yeah, maybe their content was similar, but they just never sounded alike to me. But the ill shit is, both of these guys happen to be my two favorite MCs ever. So it's super hard for me to compare the two, because I listen to them to this day every day. Just about every day I listen to these two dudes still. So I know them very well as far as they styles. And then Rakim, I'm from the same hood as Ra. I grew up with Ra family. His nephew Rashawn was my best friend, rest in peace, when we was little. His niece has a kid by my brother. So I mean, I'ma always go a home team. And plus, I always just thought Rock came first, naturally. So I always just thought Rob was the GOAT to me. You know, I just always did, man. I don't know how else to think of Rob but him being the GOAT. And then sometimes I interchange him and give LL the GOAT status and just say Rob's just the God MC. Fuck it, ain't nobody fucking with Rob. But then you got a lot of people that say Biggie's the best, or they say Jay-Z is the best. But I don't know. So I'm asking the public, what do y'all think? And the irony about these two guys is because they whole careers have always kind of been like linked together. People don't realize that a whole large portion of Paid in Full was actually done at Marley Marl's house in Queensbridge. And Nas used to be at some of them sessions, for what I hear. So they always, I guess, kind of correlated with each other some way, somehow. But the whole thing is, since Nas dropped in 94, everybody's been saying like, yo, who do you think is the better out of the two? I already gave you who I think is the better out of the two lyrically. But we not talking about catalogs. We talking about pure MCing, lyricists. And I don't know, man. It's just so hard for me to compare the two. But at the same token, Rock came first. So I always tend to go with Rock. But I just want to hear what the public thinks for once, man. What do y'all think? Who do you think is the better MC? Rakim or Nas? The ill shit about both of these guys is they're also, ironically, the only two MCs that seem to have a second career. Nas just shocked the whole fucking world recently during COVID and dropped six albums out of fucking nowhere. He did KD 1, 2, and 3, and I think Magic 1, 2, and 3, and even picked up a Grammy in between. So Nas has just been on fire as of lately. I don't know. He must have caught that bug again and was like, nigga, I gotta have it. I can't fight the music. I gotta get back to it. And so he's been rocking ever since. He even fucking with the young boys. So it's just so ironic that they're the only two people that seem to be that have done that. And then Rod did the same thing. He back in 1997, Bon God, he dropped the 18th letter out of nowhere, and it hit like fucking Halley's Comet, and it revived his whole career. Like, cause he hadn't dropped the album so long since about like I think '92, when he did Don't Sweat the Technique, and people was waiting and waiting and waiting, and then boom, he came out in '97 with the 18th letter, and it was just crazy. It was like he was a whole new person again. And then all of the younger generations who weren't aware of him got to know exactly who the fuck the God MC was, man. So it's just so odd that they careers seem to correlate. I don't know, man. It's just weird, man. And then Nas, you know, they always had some weird kind of in between beef going on. How I never knew how it started. I don't think anybody does, but it was said to have started from an interview that Rakim had, and they asked him about Nas, and he kind of, shunned him and wasn't really showing them no love like that. And then later on, Mobb Deep caught wind of this shit, and they wasn't happy about it. And that's where the comment, "Fuck where you at, kid? That's where you from. Cause where I'm from, niggas pack nothing but the big guns." That was directed at Ra, man. People don't realize it, but that's who that was directed at, man. And then you had other little remarks in between too. But that's how that whole situation started. And then I guess Nas tried to take the higher route and put out the unofficial autobiography of Rakim or some shit like that, or the unofficial biography of Rakim. And instead of Nas seeing that as homage, Rakim seeing that as homage respect, he kind of took that as disrespect, because Ra got like a laid back, real private personality, man. So he's real privy about his life. And so I guess he didn't appreciate that Nas put certain information out there. But the whole thing was, Nas is like, bro, this is public information. How you think I got it? So I don't see no wrong in what Nas did, man. And a lot of other people didn't either. But apparently Ra didn't take too kind to that, man. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that they squashed that. It seems like they did. Nas even did a whole ceremony and included Rakim in it and everything, man. So I'm hoping that they squashed that by now. But still, the hood and the rest of the world wants to know, who is the better MC out of Rakim and Nas? Y'all let me know. Mwah.